Chapter 521, The Strongest Wizard, was a pretty good chapter, not gonna lie. I mean, it wasn't very action heavy in its entirety, it mostly ended a few fights. We see people being happy as fuck that Magnolia has returned to its original state, and of course Mira is seen finishing Jacob off, and Elfman as well as Lysana takes Agil out. Interestingly, that old guy from Alvarez steps between the Strauss siblings and Agil, though, and explains that there is no need to take it any further, thinking that their intent is to kill Agil most likely. That old guy is like Agil's grandfather, I think, so I mean, I guess it makes sense and all. Agil is then very surprised to hear that Elfman and Lysana are in fact siblings too. I'm not sure what that was all about, like would Agil not have tried to kill them just because they were siblings if he had known? I'm not sure, to be honest, so I'm not sure why that surprised him in all honesty, but yeah. And we also get a brief Makarov and Loxus bit. Of course, Makarov is still dead kinda, and Loxus just promises to bring him back to the guild, and we then get some more nods to Lucy in Happy Time. They seem to be mostly discussing where everyone else went, and then Brandish appears while holding the minimized Demaria in one of her hands. Natsu of course teases Demaria as she's pretty much scared shitless just at the sight of him after what happened when Natsu went berserk before. Then Brandish takes her leave, promising not to become an enemy but also not an ally. So she has no intentions of joining Fairy Tail right now, it seems, but they'll come around eventually. Yes, you wait, Brandish. So following that, we see a figure on top of the cathedral, and this individual is of course the biggest and baddest Spriggan of them all, August. And he plans to use some sort of major attack by the looks of things as the earth begins to quake. And he keeps chanting on about sacrificing everyone or some shit, but that shit of course gets interrupted by your favorite sugar daddy, Gildarts. And just from stopping August, he accidentally obliterates the fucking church. Rest in pieces, Kardia Cathedral. You will be missed. As one might imagine, August tries to create a distance between him and Gildart but fails, as all attempts are easily stopped through Gildart's crash magic. And so the biggest fight of this entire arc takes its root. Gildart versus August. And before the chapter ends, we see Natsu and Lucy take off, and Natsu seems certain that he knows where Gray is going, and this location turns out to be the guild hall, where Zeref sits comfortably hoping for someone a little bigger, as he says something like that Gray is actually a disappointment. Fuck you, Zeref. You can't just belittle Gray like that. He's a great wizard. And the chapter ends with that more or less. Well, to be specific, it ends with Gray asking him for his seat back, as Zeref sits in his seat, I guess. Okay, so let's kind of go through the chapter a little bit, because yeah, it was quite interesting. Let's begin with the Natsu, Lucy and Brandish perspective. So as much as it does seem like Brandish isn't going to be playing a part anymore, I doubt she's gone for good. I mean, if she is, I'll be kinda mad, let's face it. Oh well, I suppose Brandish did become fodder in terms of power anyway, unfortunately. I mean, she's not weaker than Lucy, but compared to the big shots of Fairy Tail, she's just out of her league. I mean, Natsu, Gray, Loxus, Gildarts, Ursa, Mira, Gajil, and a few others actually. You get what I mean. Okay, so Gildarts versus August. This fight is gonna be crazy, and right away let me just say that I've had my ups and downs when it comes to my personal opinions about this fight happening. But based from what we saw, Gildart's magic power is clearly not that far away from August if he can actually do what he did. I didn't actually think he'd be able to break August's magic so easily, but it does really seem like Gildarts and August are either going toe to toe, or Gildarts may be at an advantage because of this ability to break apart magic. But I think it's just one of those things we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. And lastly then, Gray and Zeref. What is actually gonna go down here? I mean, chapter 522 is actually called Gray's Trump Card, and we have found out that it's going to be a double chapter next week, so that's gonna be crazy. So we might be getting a pretty crazy display of Gray versus Zeref next week. Now, I'm not gonna go into what's going to happen in the fight because I have a prediction coming out on Monday, so I'll leave most of it for that. Well, I'll be ending my review right here. Let me know down below what you thought about this week's chapter. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's face it, you did not hate it. And as always, if you did, please like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. See ya soon.